Ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you are there? Or made a stupid, simple mistake at work that you knew better than? Or are you picked up your phone to check one message and found yourself lost in scrolling for 20 minutes? Or you locked the room after leaving your keys inside? Or you were looking for your glasses and later found them on your eyes? You probably shrug it off, right? Just a brain fart. Too much multitasking. Now imagine a similar moment of distraction but inside the aircraft cockpit. A maintenance engineer skips one line on a checklist while doing the maintenance. A pilot handled the wrong lever. For an example, instead of retracting the flaps, he retracted the landing gear, and the result could be catastrophic. Lives lost, millions of dollars gone. Or instead of turning on the NTI system, the pilot accidentally turns off the engine bleed air, causing the loss of the cabin pressure. And yet, it's the same human brain behind every mistake, yours, mine, and theirs. So how can we deal with this? How can we train our minds to stay aware, focused, and safe? Those all comes under the human factor, not only the sky, but in everyday life. But what if those moments weren't random glitches? What if they were the perfectly predictable, manageable flaws hardwired into your brain? For decades, the high-stakes world of aviation safety has been quietly studying these errors through a science called human factors, the study of why smart, well-trained people mess up. So in this video, we will explore what human factor really mean and why our brain makes those silly mistakes. How is stress, pressure, fatigue, and our environment affect our focus and memory? And most importantly, how can we prevent those mistakes, stay alert, and design a life that's distraction-proof? Let's dive into the invisible world that controls how we think, act, and perform, the world of the human factors. What is human factor? In aviation, the human factor means studying how people interact with machines, procedures, and their environment. It's about understanding our strengths, limitations, and behaviors, especially under pressure. Research shows that over 80% of the aviation accidents involve some human element. The US Air Force once reported over $23 million in damages in just half a year, all linked to the maintenance and operational human errors. That's why aviation doesn't just fix broken systems. It studies how humans think, react, and sometimes fail. Your brilliantly lazy brain. The first flaw is that your brain is designed to be lazy. And it's a feature, not a bug. Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman broke our thinking into two modes. System 1, which is fast, intuitive, and handles up to 98% of your day. It's what lets you drive a familiar road or tie your shoes without conscious thought. Then there's a System 2, which is slow, analytical, and effortful. System 1 is a brilliant, evolutionary shortcut, but this efficiency breeds complacency. When we are on mental autopilot, our brains starts to see what we expect to see, not what's actually there. In aviation, this is a killer. A seasoned pilot running on System 1 might hear what they expect air traffic control to say, like an instruction to take one runway and not the instruction that was actually given. And as Murphy's Law reminds us, if something can go wrong, it will. That's how we plan, check, and recheck, not because we distrust people, but because we understand humans. And our brains come with hidden filters, biases that quietly shape what we see and do. This is an error called confirmation bias, the tendency to favor information that confirms what we already believe, which in a high-stakes moment can literally blind us to contradictory facts sitting right in front of us. Your brain is trying to save energy, but that single shortcut can lead to a fatal misread. Authority bias makes us follow instructions blindly even when something feels off. A junior crew member hesitates to question a captain, and small error can grow into disaster. Inattentional blindness hides the obvious plain sight. Your eyes are open, but your focus is elsewhere. A mechanic missing a lost bolt, a driver missing a stop sign. Those are the examples of inattentional blindness. Recognizing these biases is the first step to catching those mistakes before they catch us, whether in the cockpit or in everyday life. Distraction wipes your mental slate. You are in the middle of the complex task, maybe writing an email or doing a maintenance task, Your phone pings, you glance down, you answer a text, then you look back at your task and think, where was I? This problem happens to me. I'm studying and suddenly a notification comes. I check it, and when I get back, I don't find the line where I was. The problem isn't just lost focus, it's the lost memory. Your brain uses the working memory to hold information for immediate tasks. Think of it like your computer's RAM. It's incredibly fast and also very limited. It can hold only about 7 pieces of information at once. The aviation and the maintenance world calls this out as the leading cause of error. This kind of failure is exacerbated by the dirty dozen, the 12 core human factors like fatigue, stress, lack of communication that makes us highly susceptible to the memory and the focus flaws. Multitasking isn't a skill, it's a recipe for accidentally wiping your slate clean. Dangerous habits creep in slowly. Major failures rarely starts with a sudden, dramatic decision to be reckless. Normalization of deviance is the psychological creep where an unsafe practice gradually becomes the accepted, the normal way we do things, simply because no immediate harm occurs. A mechanic skips a safety checklist because nothing ever goes wrong. And over time, everyone starts doing the same thing until one day it leads to an accident. Accidents don't just happen, humans make them. In 1990, a British Airways BAC 1-11 had a terrifying incident where an improperly secured windshield blew out mid flight. The post accident investigation found that mechanics had over time normalized using the wrong screws and skipping the critical measurement due to the time pressure and poor maintenance culture. It wasn't one mechanic's mistake, it was a system wide slow erosion of the safety standards. This is why the peer pressure and the time pressure are such dangerous human factors. They don't just affect our speed, they subtly change our standard of care, slowly eroding the margin of safety until disaster strikes. They are best explained by the Swiss cheese model. Every safety layer, like procedures or training, has a small holes or the weaknesses. An accident happens only when those holes line up. Take the 1977 Tenerife disaster. Fog, miscommunication, time pressure, and the authority bias all aligned, leading to a deadliest crash in the aviation history. Checklist for life. Human factors teaches us that we cannot rewire our brains, but we can design our habits and environments to account for their built-in flaws. Aviation manages the risk with powerful, simple strategies we can adopt right now. Use checklist for crucial tasks. Don't rely on the lazy system one brain for important multi-step actions. Use a physical checklist. It prevents the memory lapses and forces a brief moment of analytical system to thinking. Practice metacognition. This is the habit of thinking about your thinking. Recognize when you are under the influence of the dirty dozen. Are you tired, stressed, rushing? That's your cue to slow down and double check your work. Use readbacks to close loop. You can do this in daily life to prevent the miscommunication. Before ending a meeting or delegating a task, just say, just to be clear, you need me to handle the X by Y time, correct? It's a simple act that prevents errors. Human-centered design fixing system, not people. Once a pilot accidentally retracted the landing gear instead of the flaps. Both levers looked similar, side by side. That wasn't the human failure, that was the design failure. Just like doors that say push but have the handles that make you pull. The system confused the user. So instead of blaming people, aviation redesigns the interface, making it intuitive, safer, and smarter. That's the essence of human-centered design. Designing the environment to make you the right choice, the easy choice. We can't stop being human, but by adapting a just culture for ourselves, where we treat our mistakes as learning opportunities, not reason for the self-blame, we can build better, safer system in our own lives. And finally, remember Murphy's Law. If something can go wrong, eventually it will. So don't just trust your memory, design your surroundings to catch you when you sleep. Keep your keys by the door, set reminders, level your files, because smart design beats perfect memory every single time. So the next time you make a small mistake, don't just say I'm stupid. Ask instead, what went wrong in the system? What can I redesign? Because every great safety innovation begins with someone willing to learn from the human error. That's the power of the human factor.